Hello folks, it's retro coding time again. What better than the Mikie soundtrack to start us off? Right, this time around, this is only going to be a little short video really. It probably will still be best part of an hour. But again, not a lot getting achieved live, I don't think. We might do, you never know. But I've sorted out the problem we had last night, and it involved me just rewording a lot of the code and re-shifting it around. So basically, I didn't think that was very good to try and redo again. It was quite a mess, and I've ended up with code that works. So I'm going to stick with it and just show you roughly what I changed. Changed quite a lot, particularly in these two for now. Okay, so let's look at the player. I mean, I've added this, forget that, it's not even in use right now. I think I went back to the original versions of them. So that's like just a standard attack or shout is the types of state, and then obviously the types of direction. So they're all left pretty much the same as they were when we left them. All of that so far is. This is where it gets different. I've now created a player update routine. I've moved everything away from the main that's to do with the player. The only thing we've got in main is a call to player update and a call to player draw. The rest of this is all to do with not the player, and we'll probably separate some of this out as well soon. So the only reason that I can find that we were failing last night is for some reason there was a return statement here. I don't know why I'd put it there, and it was in the middle of our update method suddenly. So it was getting late last night and I was tired, and I guess I just put that there and didn't notice it, and then that was the end. Luckily I found it now after a lot of messing around. I did actually mess around with all this before I found that problem, but I think I've ended up with tidier code. I think we should move this sprite data out completely, or we could just do that. Guess that's just as good as moving it out to another file really, isn't it? So yeah, basically this is how it works now. We have a player update method, and in there straight away we reset the collision check. We call for check keys. I've changed that a little bit as well. There used to be a reset keys and check keys. Reset keys just happens right at the start of check keys now instead, and then we check them. So in theory I hope this is going to actually be better for me, because before it checks any keys it always clears the key. Don't know, we might need to change this again. Something to do with holding keys down. We might need something like here to clear them as well. That might be a good idea. So you might as well forget this main function. All I changed was I took all the stuff out of it and put it into the update or the drawer, and that's done. You know, the rest of it's the same. So now, if F is held or pressed at the time of this frame, we set our attack standard, set our player's state to attack, and if not, we set it to standard. Pretty straightforward stuff. We could have probably just done this directly, look, because immediately afterwards we check the state, but now it gives us some space in between. Again, maybe we'll optimize that. we could get rid of these routines completely. I like it having this. I think it's going to be more flexible for us in the long run. Because what that does, it sets an actual variable, true or false, so that we can then check it. We happen to check it immediately after right now, but maybe we won't want to do that later. Maybe we want to check in our attack code or in our movement, in our draw code, we might need to check it or something. So it's pretty straightforward stuff I was stuck on yesterday. It was tiring. I was tired. If F is pressed, we call that. If it's equal to 0, then we call that, and that's going to be our default. So then we get our usual movement code. This time, if we're holding F, we should not be able to move, but we should be able to set the direction of the attack. And in my try move, I've got this player state standard check here. We don't really need that. That was just during debugging. I was trying to get it working, but if you think about it, we only call try move on standard, so we've doubled up on ourselves. So let's get rid of it. I can always undo this if I check it quickly afterwards. We don't want to move while we're held in F. That's the key here. Don't worry about the animation because it takes time to load. It's a bit weird like that. There you go. The animation's working. And the attack is working exactly as I would have wanted. I mean, we might need to shift him a bit while he attacks, like his position needs to move, maybe. I like that though, that's quite a lot of progress. Because now we've added that attack, we can use that as a template to add, we could have 10 attacks, couldn't we, if we really wanted to. I'm sure there'd be better ways, but all we have to do is, if we want to add a secondary attack, is instead of F, do the same, do that to check for attack 1, and then we can just have key press G for attack 2, do the same thing. Again, this is purely, I'm sure this is simple stuff. There's probably people out there looking at this who know about assembly language and thinking, what the hell is this guy doing? I'm sure this isn't the best way of doing it, but this is just the way I've dreamt up. I was wondering what else I could add, because I don't want it to be too long this session. Maybe we should shift him when he attacks. Oh, we need to stop attacking. Let me just check that. The only way at the moment to stop attacking, I need to start letting it load. I don't know why there's that big long wait now. There never used to be. Alright, so if I let go of F, it actually does stop attacking, just as it is, which is great. So that attack really works well. We should probably allow him to move 1 square while he's attacking. So if he's attacking right, we should probably allow him to move 1 square right if he holds the button long enough. I guess that's like an advanced thing we can do. Just pressing F alone makes you go into the attack state, because he's already right. Okay, yeah. So in fact, this other bit of debugging code I put in, set direction left and right, we probably don't need that. And then there's a call to it somewhere. I'm just going to try and compile it to find it. It's quicker. 430. So, in that case, none of that's actually needed right now, I don't think. That's really good now. It's pretty realistic to what the game feels like already, to be honest. And we don't really need to worry about shifting him. I can just shift him in his graphic, bitmap. And obviously whatever the collision box is that I decide to use. That's brilliant, because you just do the attack in the direction you're facing, and if you're facing up and down, you don't get to do the attack. That's pretty much what it's like in the game. I think that's brilliant. Do you know what? I'm actually pretty happy with how it works already, just like that. Doosh, 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 doosh. We have to come up with some way of shifting the sprites soon, because when you attack them, there's going to be an enemy there sitting on the seat, and you'll go doon doon doon, and it nudges you and the enemy along a little bit, and then the enemy remains like nudged on the seat, so you know how far you've nudged them off. And as you loop through the game, it takes more nudges. So in order to make it a proper Mikie clone, we'd have to do that. But at the moment, I am a beginner, and I'm not going to spend too much time on advanced problems like that. What I want to do is I'm happy at the moment with no enemies. We'll make the teacher, he'll just walk around throwing teeth at you, like up here, and he maybe just randomly for now. And we'll add the hearts to collect. Then we'll add the UI, so that we know how many hearts we've got. When you've collected all the hearts, the door will flash. There'll be a thing above the door flashing. You'll go over to it, press the key, and you'll finish the level. Then I want to make level 2, and then I'll talk about doing shifted sprites and these, because they're not really enemies here. They're like school students. And they don't attack you, but you've got to like nudge them out of the way. But that's going to be much later, I think. We will make the teacher soon, though. So, well, more tidy up needed, because this isn't needed. In fact, that made the game worse. And therefore, they're not needed, because I only made them because it wasn't working at one point. It was all because of that return. So this is back to my original plan that I had yesterday. The only difference is that there was no stupid errand return put in here somewhere. One of these. Straight after here it was. And now we've got to come up with something to do in the next half hour. I mean, if we wanted to shift the sprite during the attack, here's the exact place to do it. So I'm going to obviously leave that there. Well, I've had when you get a brain lock, there's too many things to do, and I don't know where when you go live on the internet, it blocks your brain, I'm telling you. But I'm happy with all of this now. I think it works great. Like I say, eventually we'll have to include collision detection in this for the school students during the attack. That's a big problem. That's not one to try and do right now before work. I haven't got a sprite for the teacher, so I think we'll hold off him. UI is not beyond the realms of possibility. I could just add that a picture down the right hand side. I'm thinking some sort of either like a blackboard, or I think that'd be too hard, like chalk font on the spectrum. So perhaps, you know, some sort of sports scoreboard looking thing, some sort of high school thing, running down the right side of the screen. Like I'm not, the graphics are pretty good now. I'm quite happy with like that level. It needs to be redone one time, but as a prototype, it's pretty decent. The sprite is very decent. The right side panel is just a grey area right now, and I'm not going to spend too much time doing it, but I am going to demonstrate how it can be just tiled, and then we can make it look kind of nice by doing that, you know, but I'm not going to spend too much time. I'd love to do that right now, but actually I'd need to do an art around that right side of the screen. I need to draw something to tile it, and that's going to just take time up. I should have done that before I came online. What can I do right now? I guess now might be an okay time to actually think about a main menu and start in level 1 when you press start. So I think I'll do that. Main menu.asm is going to be the root in the root folder, because this is going to be the actual starting point for our program now. Well, maybe it doesn't have to be the starting point for our program. Create another new file called main. I don't want any underscores in the level names, I mean in the file names. In fact, it doesn't need to be called main level 1, it can just be called level 1. And I'll put that in a folder called levels. And in fact, I'm going to put main menu in there as well. Okay. So now Spikey's still our launch sort of file. Ugh, can't type. I don't know why I did level 01, because there's definitely not going to be more than 10 levels. But I've done it now. So just include those two. And now why not? So I'll just change that entire thing. Main level 01. So I made a new main. This stuff is specific to desks only because it uses desk data length. So really I should make an input DE, call this object array pointer, object data length. That would actually cause less processing power as well, because we wouldn't have to load every single loop. The only thing is, does that use DE? Because if it does, we'd have to push and pop it. But I'll just leave it as it is for now. That I'll put to do. But if that was the case, if I did that, then I could move this to like a different file, and it would be able to be used for any type of object I wanted to draw or paint. But right now it's just for desks, and it's a bit of a pain. I'm going to just leave it in this main one for now, same as draw tiles. So we've cleared it out. So those game values. So here we've got state. That should be like player. Player state would be right. I mean, we could just be really sneaky and use that if we wanted to. We had like, you know, just for example, if we really wanted to save memory. But it's not very sort of object orientated, it's not very self-contained doing that. Could just have game state instead. I mean, why not just do this as well? Because yes, we could just have we could record it as a value. What level are we on? 1, 2, 3. But this will be probably just as easy, and it sort of matches how we've done everything else. We can just say, right, when we end the level, if we're on level 1, go to level 2, rather than just saying increment level value, which sometimes gets complicated. We can always change it anyway. The thing is, I probably shouldn't even call it level 1. I should call it like classroom, hallway. For now, we'll just have level 1 and level 2. In fact, no, we'll have level 1 and hallway. Hallway 1. Oh, yeah, let's leave it at that for now. Or why not level 2 hall. There we go. Because now we still can. Well, if we have another value to say current level. I'll put that below just in case it fails. Probably don't want that in this file at all. Have that in the main one. Oops. You missed the start of a beer run. It's going well, thanks, mate. I'll run through it again real quick just to show you actually, because what happened was I changed it all this morning, and it was so complicated, the changes. I just couldn't be bothered to go back and redo them. So, in a nutshell, I've took our main file and reduced it down to nothing, and then in the player, I've got player update. That then checks. The actual reason we messed up yesterday, I think, was I somehow had a return there in the main loop of the game. Don't know how I did that, but it took me ages to find as well. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward stuff. Look, we check if it's F and only call the right update method. Look, we set the state there and then immediately check and call an update method depending on which state we're in. So the end result, oh, it's not going to load. Actually, I could probably load it from that. It seems to have a big delay at the moment. Don't know what. Yeah, and then it'll suddenly work. But the main thing is, it works really well. That you'll be surprised how good that feels. It probably feels better than the original digital spectrum version. And I'm going to do some shifting. We've got an update loop now for the player when he's attacking, so we can actually shift him a couple of bits over, which we need to do. I was saying, because we need to do that to the students or enemies or whatever you want to call them. They don't really hurt you, but you have to nudge them. He bums stuff, yeah. That's what he does. But everybody loves him. That's the main thing. Yeah, you caught me in the midst of when I was switching. A big switch here. Because I'm creating a main menu of sorts. I haven't created any of it yet, but I'm just creating the structure of one. So I've deleted everything from main. And I moved it into main level 1. And I've also created these states. And finally, a current level state. In fact, I should name that better, current game state, because I've called it a game state. So now we should start in the main menu, but that's going to do absolutely nothing. Here we need to check on that first. Oh, I thought I'd get it. Okay, load current game state. I don't know why I'm using the integer when I can just do that. That's the whole reason I made them. Oh, I haven't got it. So main, to match my convention, it would be like this: main menu, jump, main menu. Oh, make sure that doesn't say there. So we've just separated it nicely, basically. So all we've done before could stay unchanged. There. And of course the rest. Right. Oh, that's just reminding me. I should actually. I've got loads of data left on my phone this month. should log on my mobile and look at my stream, because then it'll be an extra viewer, won't it? Let me try that. But hopefully this is pretty clear of how easy this is going to be to create this sort of structure. Hopefully this is no, it's got a problem. Oh, the viewer count went down. That's quite funny. Yeah, simple as that. All we've got to do now is change the game state. We should start in the main menu now. I need to have something to put in there, really, but maybe just some text for now. I've forgotten how to do text completely as well. Quickly look it up. I could use that at command thing. I'm sure there's a better way of writing text. Huh. No, I've got no random like tools file. Text tools.asm. Copy this in. So in other words, you just have to print 8252 with those inputs. So I guess this is a good place to put it in main menu. Let's put data there. Deck view account, yeah. It went down immediately as soon as I tried my trick. Oh, it went up to 2 again. I mean, you shouldn't be able to tell it's my IP because I'm doing it through mobile internet. Do you know what I mean? So just a coincidence. Maybe someone left at the same time. Anyway, title string. This is going to be the worst main menu you've ever seen in your entire life. Do you know what I mean? But I don't care about it. It's just to show that it works. Can't remember if you put a string. I should have closed the book. I should have just double checked that. Yeah, it's just that. Alright, that'll work. I probably shouldn't call this main either. I don't like that. Update. Update. And then I can have a main menu. Start. Or init. Start. And that'll have to jump to main menu update, won't it? Or will it? Wait there. No, that can just return. So now we can init the main menu before we start. Let's call it now. Let's call it init. I don't know why. I keep changing my mind on names all the time. It's stupid. So I have to use the same thing there. Oops. So now we can initialize every level right at the beginning before the main menu even shows up. If we want to. We might want to init each level when we switch level and just have a pause in between. Depends how much memory space we've got. I mean, there's not going to be much initting going on, is there? But we've got the option to now anyway. So in main menu init, I'll just do this string thing. DE string pointer, BC end of pointer. Didn't really mention position. Yeah. I mean, I don't care about the position, but you could change the position just by doing the at command. So you load A with 22, RST16, load A to RST16. There's got to be a better way than this. This is retarded. No offense to whoever wrote it, but why? Why? Why do we have to do it like that? See if that works even. think it will. Oh, undefined level 1. And why not? Whoops, that was an accident. Line 10 of main menu. Oh, hello there. Thank you for the follow, Prince. Much appreciated, my friend. Print text. Oh, I didn't include text tools, did I? Oops. Try that out. Oh dear. Well, we got our line printed spiky, but then it just carried on printing whatever it could find. Also, why is level 1 displayed in the background there? So that's 2 problems. I mean, level 1 init does nothing. Oh, ideal. Thank you for the follow, Rockford. That's the first time I had 2 in 1 minute before. That's amazing. Very good of you. Shame I can't figure this problem out right now. I mean, I'm going to comment that out, even though I know it's not doing anything. But why is it also printing more than 1 time? Get rid of that rubbish. Because I don't care if it appears at the very top left of the screen. Hello? Oh, you're doing the unfollow follow thing. Oh, host. Hello, my man. Good lad. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's not finding that end of string thing, is it? Should be though. 8252. Let's just call that directly. Nope. Because the game state we definitely set as main menu. I really would have thought that worked, but I'll try and get rid of that as well for a second. Still get the red background, even more right in this time. It'll be 1 line missing somewhere that I've done stupidly wrong. I'm really puzzled as to why we even see the red background until we get to level 1. Oh, here, paint BG tiles, that's why that's happening. That should be in the level 1 init. So that'll probably solve that part of the problem. It does. So we've got spiky there appearing in the top left just like we want, but for some reason it's not ending where it should. I'm not even using this at this moment because it's a BC end of string pointer. BC end of string pointer. Don't think this will do it, but it's worth a try. No, no, it made no difference. I'll put it back because I like it. Single quote. Damn. It was all working lovely a minute ago, and then I decided to add a main menu. Just out of interest, just see what happens if we get rid of that completely. And that's exactly what I hoped would happen, okay. So that's only supposed to get called once. There. And it returns, goes into this loop, and does nothing, apparently, but that 8252 is a built-in Spectrum ROM routine, and the note of it says prints every character and loops until it gets to the end of the string. Just try 7 there. Oh, that is what it is. I figured it out. It's not the end of the string. It wants the length. I think that's going to hopefully fix it for us. Yay. It's always something simple. Every time. And you end up fiddling around with all the detailed stuff. So this is the only way I know to move this text. Like, you have to hit it with the 22 command. Then do R. This is really clunky. And then you tell it the X and the Y position. So if we say 4X and 10Y, let's just see if that's right. So you have to do RST16 again, then do the Y. Very strange, but it's just the way the ASCII sort of text writing works. That's good, except for they're backwards, so it wants the Y first. Actually looks nice though, it's pretty well positioned, I quite like it. I'll move it along a bit more on the X. Oh, got there in the end, didn't we, Moz? Right, that's almost bang on in the middle now. As I say, it's just a demonstration. We'll have a nice fancy loading screen, not a loading screen, a title screen by the time the game's finished, but that'll certainly do for now. I almost can't be bothered to write like press any key, because it's just a temporary thing anyway. Just have it here, innit? Oh, why not? Press key, string. Just use the same approach. That looks good to me. and we'll move it down 2. Obviously probably need to move it left like 3 or something. Oh, invalid RST value. Oh, yeah, that's better. There we go, that'll do for a title screen for me for now. And then we'll just look for him to press any key. That'll be in the update. In fact, any key is a bit annoying. Let's just say let's press W. That's better. Because we've already got a key caching for W. So we can literally just check that. Compare true. If it is true, we could either set up a jump label, but I'm going to set up a routine to switch to the new level. Although it might be better just to jump. Oh, all we have to do is change the game state actually and then jump to here. That's already been set up really earlier. I had that in mind. Yes, we've got 2 options. We could either init every single level right at the beginning of the program, or when we switch, we could have a call to the init. Problem with that is if it doesn't init in time, you have to have a check to see if it's finalized the initialization and then switch. So it's a bit of a pain. I'd prefer to do it all at the start like this and then just jump back to main after changing this one value. So I guess start game. I'm going to put MM. That means it's like an internal method inside the main menu. That's my little new convention I've just made up. So if I fully type it, that means I'm going to call it from outside the method. Outside, but MM means it's something in here that's calling it. So MM start game. That's going to jump to main, which is a bit confusing and I don't like it. It's a bit confusing to be honest, but I think it will work. It's going to have to change that first. In fact, yeah, let's make it less confusing. Let's do well, I was going to put a function in here just to do the same thing, but I think actually no, I won't. So that's the constant we made just to represent our first level. I could have just written 1 there if I wanted to. Current game state, load A, jump to main. So it's going to look for us to press W. It's going to change that state. It's going to go to main. It's going to then find it's in level 1. And it's going to start doing all of that. Let's see if that works. And then that'll probably wrap us up for the day actually, because I've got work in about an hour. And I can't really think of anything to do next, unless this doesn't work, and then we'll try and fix it. Oh, well, straight away that hasn't worked. 925. Oh. There we go. Okay, that's not great. Also, W does not start us into the game. So we have got more work to do. If we start the clear screen. If I could do it like C# where I could just have a method saying change level and then have brackets, integer, level, int, you know, and then I could do that. That would be superb, do you know? Because I'd be able to set up a way of knowing what levels to jump to. But if not, I'd have to make one saying change to level 1, change to level 2, and it would all have to be its own routine. I was trying to avoid that by just jumping to main there, having changed that. But it looks like that fails it somehow. Oh, of course, that wasn't helped by me doing that there. Maybe I can wait for that. Maybe, yeah, what we'll do then, I don't mind it actually, there's not that many levels. Oh, one. This return below is pretty much unnecessary, but I'll put it there anyway. And the reason I put it there anyway, the reason it's unnecessary is because this is going to jump to main. But the reason I put it there anyway is in case I change this not to jump to main. Where's the fun in that? So change our game state to level 1 class called begin level 1. Begin level 1 is just going to clear the screen again. And why not, we'll change the border colour as well, just for fun. This is temporary. And we'll clear the screen. Then we call a knit. Knit level, which draws the background. Tell you what, we could just call that directly, couldn't we? We don't need to jump to main. It's already been set to the right game state here. It's a bit of a hodgepodge of code, but ends up that way with assembly, doesn't it? I don't think there's many ways to avoid that, except for having it all in one file. So I don't actually need to call, I don't need to jump to this. It's going to do that there, isn't it? And in fact, let's put that there as well. I can't see anything wrong with this now. Let's just try it. Oh, it still doesn't actually let us begin. We haven't got that problem of it messing up the menu anymore. But that is getting called. Oh. Silly me. There was the obvious mistake there. And it's not cool either, it's cool Z or Z. Yeah. The only thing I'm panicking about in here is that we call the knit here and don't really give it any time. I guess we could just put 3 halts in there. That might actually help. Let's try it. Oh, it still doesn't let us through. I know why that is. The check keys function's not working. Check keys. There's no reason why that can't get called every single frame. I've currently got it in here. Let's get rid of that. Literally put it right at the top of the main method. Keep leaving off these things. I like to have them on my labels, but I keep leaving them off. Shortest game ever. Press W to start. It's already ended. Press it again to start again. Still no. I wonder if that's because I was holding W when I started the game. I think I was expecting it to work there. Definitely doesn't. That's definitely getting called now. Or is it? Yeah, it should be. There's no reason why it shouldn't just return after printing them lines, is there? And then it'll just fall into this main loop. I'd love to have the beeper. I'll tell you what, I'm going to change the border colour when we get into the main loop, just so that I know. So if it's pink, then we're in the main loop. Yeah, so we are in the main loop. So that's weird now for me, because calls check keys. That has nothing to do with whether we're in level 1 or main menu. It just sets them values, doesn't it? They basically get set to 1 if a key press is found. And they've been working fine up until now. That's strange. Nope. We had a streak yesterday and the day before, especially yesterday, where just everything we tried to fix almost worked immediately. But now it's got to that stage where it's the silly little niggles holding us back on multiple things, you know. Like yesterday, it was just because of that return statement being in the wrong plate. And this time, I don't think that is the case, but there's some other weird thing like that. Because I've used this exact structure before on my other game, and it worked on my very first attempt to implement it. And I'd only been working in assembly for 2 weeks at that stage. So I don't think it's that complicated, but obviously I've done it here with a game that was already quite complicated rather than just completely basic. Just out of interest, I'm going to try having no text printed. The W thing should still let me through, but it doesn't. So it's nothing to do with that text, is it? It's got nothing to do with it. Main menu update. Where I change the current game state. I mean, I can't see why that's not working actually, but I'll try putting that there just in case the A was getting messed about. No. Don't think that's needed. Because yes, the A will get messed up if that gets called. But they both can't be true. You know, so if that is true and that gets called, then that wasn't true anyway, so. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Sure, it's just one little thing. As a test, I'll just do set border pink. Oops. I've been using the border as a debugger. That's about as far as I've got for my collision. It came in pretty handy. So that'll be setting border pink. And I want to check key press W, CP. That's annoying, we haven't got like a level 3. Alright, let's make the border pink. And I think it's blue, number 1. When we press the button. And now I'll put level 1 class, which amounts to level 1. So we're checking the same thing, aren't we? There. Oh no, of course, CP will either be 1 or 0, so that's true. Sorry, I'm getting myself confused. W is just a 0 or 1. Call Z, set border blue. So we're doing the same thing as what we're trying to do there. Still doesn't work. So what would stop my keys thing from working now? In this, I don't get that, do you? Check keys. And these are all internal. These are only called internally. It's not returning now, is it? No. That ain't gonna work, but I'm gonna try it just for argument's sake. It instantly went, so that's good. That's what I wanted, really. That proves it, because I wasn't holding it. So if I press W, it should set the border pink now. But the thing is, that should just start the game as well. I haven't removed that code, so I don't know why it wouldn't. But now it's pink. What the flip? I didn't touch the key. So if I'm not touching it, it should be blue. and it is. But I'm touching it, it ain't changing. It's so weird. It's really weird the way that CP works. Try that. So it should be pink and then go blue when I press it. It doesn't. It's pink, yeah. Yeah, it makes no difference in the order in either. That is strange. That's like destroyed everything I know about CP. I'm gonna have a smoke. That normally helps, to be honest. Because it could be something in this, but why? There's nothing relying on it. There's nothing in here relying on me calling anything from outside. Other than check keys. Very, very weird. That init, but that returns. Try set border blue thing it. Well, no. What colour was it? What was it called? Yeah, set. So I'm gonna get rid of that. Oh, that's why it wasn't auto completing, because I didn't put cool. So we'll see it. It should go pink. It should be black when it boots in, and then immediately change to pink and just stay there. And I'm sure it will. But that does pretty much signify that it's got to the end of the init statement, which we know is going to happen because it was doing the update a minute ago. There we go. Something must be to do with the keys then. It's just not actually finding the key press. Load key press. I'll try just hard coding the number in. If this doesn't work, that's going to just blow my mind. If it does work, we'll still have to move it because we can't just have that sitting in the main. It just went straight through. Oh, that's NZ. That's why. N. Why isn't N a flag? Should be. Still don't work. So it had nothing to do with that, which I didn't think it did, but I just wasn't sure. Oh well. I've got a little while before I have to quit, but I hate quitting like halfway through a problem like this. If I do, I'll certainly be coming back and trying it again later. The thing that's baffling me is this is completely independent, isn't it? Try that. Oh yeah, that could be it actually. Oh no, it was returning. I was going to say it's running down into here. But that ain't going to fix anything, is it? But let's try it. Nah. That's what I would have wanted for it to do. Doesn't even need that. Why not jump to it? Sod it. I think that might help jumping to it. Because when you call it and then you find a return, it'll go back to where it was. If we now jump, we're going to have to jump again. Where did I jump to? Begin level 1. And that does jump. Get rid of them just in case it's got anything to do with them. Still nothing. Game state. That is pretty strange. I failed to see how it's got. It can be that. Yeah, it didn't even work here. Let's try copying that. Getting rid of the call. Just popping that there. It's odd. It's very, very odd, that. Has it got anything to do with RST16? All that. Nah, has it heck? That is really weird. Shouldn't even need that. I mean, I'm just going to check that check keys is actually getting called by doing that cool set border pink thing. I'm 100% sure it will. Yeah. So it proves that it's getting to here. There should be nothing wrong with this. I hope it does come to me halfway through my work shift, man. I was just considering then, I've got a really, really crappy laptop. And if I take it out of my car, sometimes I'm sat there for like an hour. But I think on a Saturday night, which it is tonight, isn't it? I think it's unlikely that I'll get any time to look at it. But you never know. I can't imagine what is wrong here. I mean, I'm going to start deleting unnecessary stuff. How does that not work? Seriously. See, I should be able to bypass the main menu completely by doing a begin level 1 there. That should actually bypass that, because it'll jump straight to main. See how that works. And it works perfectly, but the controls are still gone. What the flip have I done? So I think that's the only reason it wasn't working. It's something to do with the controls. Let's delete that first, what I just did. I should have kept that flipping set border pink. Just to prove to myself that it does. Nothing happens. That should. This must be a problem then. What the hell? Check keys. It was working fine a minute ago. I didn't change it. The only thing I did change was the reset keys thing, but I'd done that before this problem arrived. I mean, I could just call reset keys there, but I'm not going to, because that would be the exact same thing. Alright, come on. No. That's bizarre. They're fine up there, you know. It's pointless having to just call out before check keys every time. I really hope it does come to me in the shift. I can't see a problem with it whatsoever. That's fine for it to call out once, it then returns after printing, then waits, goes to here, calls check keys, checks our game state. This main menu, it does main menu update. I guess I need that cool pink thing here just to check, just to double check. So it should just go pink straight away. It does. So all things point to me that this just isn't changing to 1 ever. But why? Strictly speaking, I don't even think they're needed. Well, yeah, they are. Because only if we find a press do we then set it pressed in the cache. I like to have like one-off routines like that jump in the above the main actually. Even like that, but like initialization sort of functions I put above the main loop in most of my scripts. It's just a habit. I mean, maybe if we just done returns instead. So it's going to return back to here. It's no good. It's not really any good because we'd have to check that game state here instead then basically. Begin level 1. So it does change the game state for us. If the game state is not main menu, I mean this is, I'd be surprised as hell if this works. So I can only think of 2 options if this doesn't work, or it's gone straight through. Why did it go straight through? See, my two options were either W is not getting set, which I really can't see how that's the case, or this thing is messing us about. I mean, that's not going to make any difference. I've messed up here. It shouldn't jump to main though, should it? Because that should be 0. Don't know why it jumps to main. Might be linked to our problem. Current game state. I don't get it. It should be calling that, checking that, finding that it is 0, going down to here and waiting for me to press the button. Oh well. A problem for later by the looks of it. Because I think I was much closer to the mark a minute ago with my first code than this. That returns. Returns goes back. It should find a different state at that point. Damn it. And that all looks good to me. So I'm a bit unsure why that wasn't loading correctly. It probably just wasn't getting updated. God knows why that goes straight into that now. Very confusing. Of course, that's why it's not working when it gets into the game. Because it doesn't actually go through main. It either does main or it does level 1 update. So I would need that in both. I think now when it goes through to the game it will at least work. Yeah. some reason the animation takes ages to initialize now. Maybe just because we put more data into the game. I could alter this so that it goes returns, and it actually it'll go all the way through main. But as you can see, that will cause a pain. Oh, that might help if I just change them to jumps. At this moment though, why is it going straight through the main menu? Oh, that's why, because I moved it up to there. Oh, that's better. Good morning, Microman. What time is it where you are then? That sounds early. It's actually nearly time for me to go in the evening now. It's 4:30 nearly. Are you in America? America. I might actually have fixed it doing them jumps. But what other code did I mess up during the debugging stage? Vancouver, sweet. That sounds like a great place to live, like from what I hear. The whole of Canada, I hear good things all the time. Except for the cold. Alright, the menu's working. But yet again, it's not recognising a key press. Excuse me. This probably is one of those ones, like you said, Moz, where when I get home, my mind will be so clear, I'll look at it and hopefully get it within sort of half an hour, 20 minutes. But now I've got myself in the right tiz was. Can't understand why it's not checking the keys. There's no reason for it to be in any like state to check the keys. It just checks them. Right, one more smoke and then I'll have to wind it up. Unfortunately, hate leaving it on a problem. Gotta find a way. I don't think we can add music to the game, can we? Because every time I use the beeper, it pauses the game the way I use it. So you can only do like game beginning noise and stuff like that. Deaf noise. I think that did help a lot by changing it to jump. I think just during debugging, I've now messed it up somehow. So it calls begin level 1. It just jumps to it. But then load A changes the game state. I don't know why it's not changing. It seems to me that is changing. That will change it, I should say. Ah, of course. Of course. This might fix it. I mean, this should fix it, but I bet it doesn't. Because it should have already done that before it jumps to there, shouldn't it? Oh, it works. Brilliant. So now we just need to find a way of making it hang so that it can load properly before you get to the next level. Which was what these halts were going to do, wasn't it? Let's try a load of them. We'll put some noise in there, like a sound effect that delays it. Still does that. It's strange, that long delay at the start. I don't quite understand what that's about. But we've actually achieved it with just 10 minutes to spare. It's gone into the main menu and into the game. Excellent. Let's do the bum attack. Dish, 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 dish. Can't wait to get playing it. Yes, man. We got there just in time. So now when I get home, I can just concentrate on actually finalising what we've just done, and then obviously creating placeholders for the other levels and find a way to cycle through the levels. That'd be like a good few hours worth of work, I think. That's probably what I'll do when I get back. It sounds a bit boring, but it might only take half an hour or so if I get in the flow, because it's not that hard. And I guess I can just use level 1 as a template over and over again and just draw different colours or something for now for level 2, just to see it happen. Yeah, loads to do when we get back. I really want to add the teacher soon as well, so I can do a bit of AI coding and just basic stuff like that. Projectiles. It's going to be tricky, but there's hours worth of coding ahead. It's going to be fun. Thank you for all the recent follows to everyone as well. I got a big flurry of follows there. That was amazing. Won't be long till I'm at the big 50 now, so I'm going to start doing some longer streams soon as well. Maybe 3 or 4 hour streams, but I'm going to have to try and plan ahead for them. But in about a week or two, I've got 2 weeks off, so hopefully some decent videos then. Till then, I think I'll leave it here while I'm ahead, because I've only got 10 minutes to play around with. Yeah, been another excellent one. Can't wait to add more sprites in, really, and get the game coming to life. Get some sound effects in there. Can't wait. Make a new main menu. That's just a placeholder, of course. Hope you all have an excellent day. Microman, you've got the whole day ahead of you. Hope it's nice over there where you are. I'm going to go and grind out a few hours work. Come back home. I'll catch you then. See you soon, guys.